Hi, my name is Kinley Darnell, and this is my story of redemption with anxiety. Throughout all of high school, I was the girl who was always put together, who had the good grades, and that had a really close relationship with Jesus. In my sophomore year of high school, I noticed things started to shift. I started getting nervous when I was taking tests, whenever I was going out with people, or just doing day-to-day things. I started dating a guy around this time, which turned out to be a very toxic relationship, which only added to my anxiety. I felt the need to put on this facade that everything was perfect all the time, but masking my anxiety only made things worse. One of the first times I remember having anxiety was in my chemistry class. During the lecture, I noticed my heart start to race really fast. And over the next 9 months, I started to experience panic attacks where I would quit breathing, my pulse would increase, my throat would start to clench, and I would just be really scared all the time. I was embarrassed and exhausted from all the constant anxiety that I was facing. I was to the point where I wouldn't leave my house anymore because of the paralyzing fear that I had. I'd started isolating myself from everybody I knew, and I felt like that perfect facade that I put up started crumbling. I had walked away from Jesus during this time and wasn't as close to him as I was because of that anxiety and feeling like I needed to control things more than he was controlling them. But then I felt Jesus start to call me back and tell me that I needed to start putting my full trust in him. I started to pray that God would bring me friendships and relationships that would bring me closer to him and that would be loving and understanding of the circumstances that I was up against. I started to make a lot of friendships during this time and started going out more and having a great time without all of the anxiety surrounding me. But then I started to slip back into my panic attacks and having multiple a week at times. I started to pray that the Lord would just take all my anxiety away every time I would have a panic attack. Just take it all away, but that didn't happen. So I started to change my prayer. I started to ask the Lord, how can the thing that's hurting me the most be used to benefit your glory and to help myself and others? After I had prayed this prayer and spoke with my own small group leader from Collide, I started to notice a big change. The Lord led me to a doctor who prescribed me with some medication for my severe anxiety. A couple months ago, I started going to therapy, and my therapist and I have come up with multiple techniques to help me with coping with my anxiety. One of those things is breath prayers. Breath prayers are little pieces of scripture that you can speak over yourself while you're trying to calm your breathing down. One of my favorites is from Psalm 23. The Lord is my shepherd. I have all that I need. Since starting this medication and going to therapy, I've been able to focus a lot more of my attention on the Lord, and he has definitely shown his faithfulness through this time. I've been able to start going to 2 different Bible studies at the church and lead an amazing group of 9th grade girls here in Collide. Even when I felt hopeless, isolated, and alone, the Lord was still with me throughout all of this. Since then, I've been able to start going out more. I've built a community of people who love and care about me, and I've been able to share my story of anxiety with others. There are days where I still have anxiety and I slip back into my panic attacks, but with the Lord, I've been able to learn so many new techniques, and I've been able to get through my panic attacks a lot easier now. For those of you who feel absolutely hopeless and riddled with anxiety, I just want you to know that there is hope in Jesus. He can bring you peace and comfort like no one else can. You have a wonderful family here at Collide that loves you and cares for you, and we want to help you get through this. So reach out to one of your leaders if you're feeling just riddled with anxiety. We love you and we want to help you. You are not alone in this.